Ever feel like art tutorials are breaking your process instead of helping it? Like trying one cool tip kind of messes up your whole natural flow and leaves you all self-conscious? Most artists just follow steps somebody else made, and while beneficial to some degree, it can leave you with flashy art, but it can also make you feel dead and nervous inside. So what if you can find an art process that actually fits you? One that makes creating fun again while also taking your art to the next level. Stick around because I'm about to share what I wish somebody had told me 10 years ago, how to build your own creative flow from scratch and finally enjoy making art again. Just a heads up, things are going to be pretty abstract in this video, so keep an open mind and like and subscribe and all that. It definitely helps out the channel. The myth of the correct process. There's a lot of artists who I admired that helped sculpt me into the artist I am today. Most, if not all of which, have already made extensive videos for free that are out right now covering every tiny step they do from sketch to finished illustration. When I was starting out, I figured, hey, I like that art, I might as well learn to paint like them and practice their process a bunch till I get it. And while that is very good, especially when you are an art baby and just starting out, for me, it really broke everything and made me doubt my artistic ability hardcore because of this. Upon practicing the structures other artists laid out, I remember finding that each one had a vastly different artistic process. And I knew that regardless of which one I picked to practice, it would take a lot of time, effort, and dedication. So it came to no surprise to me that when I sat down and practiced these methods, I was met with dead ends and nasty looking art. While it is very good to always be aware of the fact that most art tutorials are demonstrating already previously mastered processes, that alone is not everything. So even well aware of this, I kept grinding away, eventually getting something looking decent, but I found that every time I sat down to practice in this way, I got more and more unmotivated even as the results started to pour in. I was getting closer to being the kind of artist I'd always admired, but at the same time I was unknowingly building a process that was slowly killing my love for creating. And the reason why isn't only because it was their process and not my own. One size can't fit all. Being conventional feeds the fear. The artists that stand out the most to me and many others tend to be the ones who have something incredibly unique, and it's not often just their incredible knowledge of fundamentals like anatomy, shapes, and color or whatever. The artists that have these amazingly unique works often have a very bizarre and unconventional process to make them, and they own it. This is what I was so unaware of when working towards becoming a cookie-cutter template of the artist I'd always looked up to. By actively replacing my own intuition with the steps they were teaching, I was getting good results and becoming a mini version of them, but my love for creating was left to die in a hot car. And the nastiest part of all of this is that this tutorial logic slowly trains you to fear deviating from it. When I learned from all these tutorials, I was often being handed the safest path to a good-looking result. It was structured, step-by-step, controlled, and proven. But the moment I tried to step outside of that structure and develop one that better resonates with my soul, I risked feeling lost with it all and not only frequently panicked, but I also felt very insecure about my artistic ability as a whole. When you deviate and start doing what comes naturally after following tutorials extensively, it can feel like you're doing it wrong even if it looks right to you. And this kills experimentation and further development of your best process. The moment you stop trusting your own instincts is the moment you start preforming art instead of actually creating it. It sucks too, because that fear is invisible, but it's what's stopping a lot of artists from finding their own lane and zooming down it in that beautiful 2025 Subaru Outback with plenty of space for dogs and longboards. You know what I mean? Anyway, your process should always feel personal and weird. The best artistic processes out there aren't always the most efficient, but they're the most effective and, most importantly, the most fun for the artist. They often look messy or unnecessary to anybody else too. Some artists draw 10 thumbnails, then zoom in on one and paint over it blindly. Some finish their sketch after blocking in full color. Some paint flat values before even deciding on a subject. It doesn't make sense until you realize it's not supposed to. A creative process is pretty much like handwriting. If you try to copy someone else's stroke for stroke, it'll always feel forced. You're meant to develop one that feels good to use. And that's the big secret no one tells you, or at least nobody told me. Your process is supposed to be as weird as you are. So the real challenge isn't finding a process, it's figuring out how to build one that feels so good to use you actually want to sit down and create. And that's what we're going to be getting into next. How to build a process that actually feels good to use. Start with what you already do when nobody's watching. The goal here is simple. Find and follow your subconscious flow. When you're doodling just for fun, and by that I specifically mean no expectations, no audience, not filming for reels or any of that bullshit, just chilling. While doing this, pay attention to your defaults. Ask yourself, what is the very first thing I reach for? Do I start with color, loose shapes? Is it the mood, story, a wild scribble, form, etc.? The most important part of this is to notice your natural habits. Don't instantly abandon them for what you think you should be doing or what the next logical step would be, unless that step comes naturally. This is some wee-woo yeehaw for sure, and some technical ways to practice this would be grabbing some art that you really like and trying to make a piece that looks like it without actually digging into each tiny step that the artist does to make it. Your real foundation shows itself in those messy, unplanned moments, and when you break away from polished, tutorial-driven steps and just try to make a cool piece, that's where you start to develop your own step-by-step. With my art, I always like to use this example. So I'm a better painter than I am a drawer, and ever since starting this channel, I've been grinding super hard to level up my sketching game to get those clean, polished, YouTube-ready lines, and honestly, the most fun I have and the best results I get come when I just paint something raw, without worrying about perfect line work, and 9 times out of 10, it always looks cooler than the thing I spent hours trying to perfect. This is because clean lines aren't how I instinctively create, even though they look incredibly gorgeous to me. I thrive in chaos. I'm a dirty old bastard with a giant digital mess on my canvas, and that's where my best work hides. And personally, I got here only from looking at the final product of artists I loved and throwing myself blindly at it until I developed my own way to get there too. Though you don't have to grind as hard as I did to find this either. Most artists already have a unique process buried inside their throwaway sketches, old doodles, and forgotten files, so when reprogramming your process or building a new one from scratch, be sure to dig there often. And remember that every step of your process doesn't have to look beautiful or cool, it just has to carry you to the next step. That's a big one that completely, utterly destroyed me for the longest time, especially in this new era of fucking sharing shit on social media and you have to make it look cool, or you feel like you have to make it look cool. Like, dude, that really messed me up. So that's the foundation of your process. And if you skip it like I did, you're not building on your instincts, you're building on someone else's, which is exactly what feeds burnout. And here's how to avoid that. Identifying your creative high points. Go through past work and pinpoint which moments made you go, hey, this part was fun, or better yet, this part made me lose track of time. Was it the textures, the initial composition sketch, the lighting decisions, rendering, not rendering, the story, mood? These aren't random. These are creative high points. You want to build a pipeline around these moments, not bulldoze over them with tutorials. What's the part of your art process you always look forward to? If you can name that, build everything else to support it. Let friction teach you, not shame you. Despite doing all of this, a process that feels good to you won't always be frictionless. Rather, that pushback should be viewed as something more constructive. So when constructing your new artistic process, remember to prioritize something that is rewarding rather than easy. But take this with a big grain of salt. That's just my own perspective on it, because you can easily get the same sort of like good feeling dopamine rush if you develop a process that makes it easy for you to go from sketch to completed piece. You know, if that process looks really easy, then you're going to get the same benefits as if it's kind of challenging, but it's rewarding, you know? So do whichever one feels best for you. Anyway, yeah, you don't have to master every single step. You just need a rhythm that you want to return to. And at the end of the day, like a good game you can't wait to come home to, this is the thing that's going to change your entire life over time. These creative high points are the fun part, but most artists accidentally bury them under boring, energy-draining steps. So how do we stop that from happening? Final payoff, a process that evolves with you. The day I finally realized I am a much better painter than drawer is the day I formatted all of my illustrations with a focus on what makes a good painting rather than what makes a good drawing. So I have since developed a process that capitalizes on all the parts I can do well, while giving the parts I am not the best at a very minimal role. Ever since doing so and practicing this with every painting, I've gained a lot of confidence and something I can reliably come back to with a guaranteed result every single time I sit down to draw. Even though it looked quite ugly for a long time and honestly still does, you all just don't see that part. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that you own it and you practice this. All of this being said, I want to highlight that I am currently still trying to unlearn previous methods and processes in favor of creating an even better system for me, and this stuff takes a lot of time and faith. We all know that art can be the most fun and addictive thing you've ever experienced, or the most dreadful experience. There will be a lot of flows and a lot of no's. The important thing is to always stay true to yourself and your vision, but be open to how it all plays out. Your process will never be perfect, but that's the point. It's a living thing evolving with every single piece you make. Once you accept that, you stop chasing somebody else's method and start building something you actually look forward to using. And bonus, it becomes super unique and you stand out amongst the sea of artists out there and you start inspiring more people to do the same. So yeah, your process isn't a to-do list, it's more of a recipe of sorts, and a good recipe evolves every time you cook it. Though in order to get that solid apple pie strat, you need to be in the kitchen actively working on it. So yeah, if you wanted to see the exact steps I personally take from a blank canvas to a finished painting, that's all right here in the next video. With that being said, let me know what your current steps are to making art. You know, like if you are an illustrator, like how do you take a sketch to a finished illustration? Let me know down in the comments below. With that, I'm out. 1 step back, 2 steps forwards. See ya.